All right, welcome back to the FW project, and this is Michael, your host. And today we're going to be talking about how to color an offset item in Path of Exiles, because my guildmates and my friends and most of the chat in Discord is telling me how do you craft color in an item which is like corrupted, or which is like this an energy shield based, intelligence based item, color green or color red. All right, so first we're gonna go to the basics. So the basics are, if you have an item that is a strength based means it says in the upper side of the helmet armor. So you can see this is quite predictable that you can get mostly red and rarely green and blue. And if you see right here, there is an energy shield. It is an intelligence based item, which means that you probably get more blues than greens and red. And like this one, you have an evasion, which is like a dexterity based item, so you can get more greens than blue and red. All right, and this is a combination armor and evasion rating. It means that you most likely to get red and green rather than blue. So you get my point, right? This is this is an energy shield, so this is an intelligence based. So most probably, if to know if you want to get to know if you have an item which has strength based intelligence or dexterity, you just see if it's armor, intelligence, or evasion. So intelligence for energy shield, armor for strength, and evasion for dexterity. All right, so with that out, there's another item here that, as you can see, all sockets are red. So there are items like, even though it is evasion and energy shield here, so most probably you'll get greens and blues, right? But it will give red, and you cannot modify it. If I put a chromatic orb here, it will turn all into red because all sockets are red. So that is an exception, but there's a way to that. So first, the basic thing is, everybody asks me, do you have a crafting bench that you can put at least one red, two red, or three red sockets there? Or yeah, because everything in your crafting table, you're gonna spend 120 chromatic orbs there. So if you're running out of chromatic orbs, this will be a problem, and it will just give you 3, right, and not 4. So there is a way to that. But first, we have to find, because they're asking me where to find this blue, red, and green sockets here. Okay, so most probably you don't know, and I don't know before. And you can see here in undiscovered, because if you don't have it here, at least 3 sockets, you can just click this and it will just go up, and you can see an undiscovered area here. So like if I am looking for like fire damage here, fire damage, as you can see here, I can find it in the dread ticket. So the dread ticket is, you can see in Path of Exile wiki here, the dread ticket is in Act 2. So it means if you go there and go around the area, and you can find the fire damage crafting, recipe there. All right, so this is the easiest one. Where is it? I have an easy one here. Like this one, movement speed, rank 3. Where can you find it? Epilogue. So where is the epilogue? If you defeat Cirrus already, you can find an epilogue here instead of Oriath. You can go there. I didn't get this for this stream. So if you go around the area here, find that crafting recipe. So you know the crafting recipe, right? This is the one. So get that. And as you can see, movement speed rank 3. You can craft movement speed rank 3. Now it is in your crafting table already. If you go back to your base or your hideout or whatever you called it, headquarters, you can see here that our movement speed is in movement speed. You can just type it here. Movement speed. We have a rank 3 movement speed because we unlocked that crafting recipe. So that's how you find crafting recipes. Go to the undiscovered and just hover on them, and then this is veiled. Okay, this is undiscovered, and you can find where is it, and just put it in the wiki or wherever you are going to look for it. All right. So the next thing is, if you want some items to be unveiled, you can go to this one, veiled mod. All right. So this will help you craft the colors and find other items here that you have to unveil. So what are you going to do with that? It's like this one and this one. You can get it from killing syndicate members, right? And as you can see here, I unveiled it. So that's full, but don't be fooled because there are a lot of items. Even though these are full, maybe this is full for your intelligence based items, but for your evasion and for your strength items, it will not be full. Because if it's full, it is present in your crafting table, right? If it's not full, then yeah. So maybe find something like a strength based or a dexterity based item like this one, like a body armor, and you can just unveil them. So yeah, that is not for the sockets, but that is just for, you know, because we're under the topic of looking for the crafting bench, you know, undiscovered and veiled, right? So just tap this and you can see veiled there, and you can find more there. All right. So with that out of the way, how do you color off socket items? So this is an evasion socketed item. Let's find a normal item first. So this is a normal item. This has a red, what they call this, red socket here. So let me see. If all of your items here doesn't have any slot anymore, and you really want to color this into all green, all right, and you cannot exchange it for something else like this one. These are all in intelligence items, all right? But as you can see here, I have 2 greens and 2 red here, and I have, yeah, all right. So this is the perfect example. So if you want to, if you're in, you have a problem that this is the only item that you can count on for your gems to fit in, and you want to make this green, first, you still need your chromatic orb, right? I jeweler it. I use the jeweler's orb because if you have more colors, you have more chances of turning it green, right? Rather than just one and using chromatic orb. For this one, you need the top two to be green. So why top two? Because if you go here, later I'm gonna show you. We're just gonna color the top 2 green, which is very hard at this point. Okay, so you need a small amount of your chromatic orb in order to do that. And yeah, okay, 1 green, we need 2 greens. And yeah, so as you can see here, 2 greens, it's RNG. So you don't have to use your chromatic orb anymore because if you're running out of chromatic orbs, it's going to be a problem. So you have a 2 green here. You go to your crafting bench.
Catch my breath.
Okay, and then you remove the prefix and suffix. And for other people, you're going to use 3 green, right? And craft the other one. But it's going to be a problem for you. It's 120 chaos. As you can see here, we just spent like 20 something chaos, right? So 2 greens there. Okay, and then you put 2 sockets, so it will make 2 greens, right? And then 3 sockets, it's red, so you go back to 2 sockets, and bring back the 3 sockets. Remember to push the prefix and the suffix here to click that, because if not, as you can see here, gonna go to 2 sockets again and then 3 sockets. Every time you do that, the bar goes down and you're gonna be having a hard time, you know, socketing, because you're going back, you have to scroll down again. All right, so the thing is, you just have to push this and 3 sockets, 2 sockets, go back and forth until you find a green socket. So as you can see here, you are see, this is the 3 green sockets with a strength-based helmet or an item. As you can see here, you're just getting 4 jewelers orb every time you switch sockets, right? So now we are going for the 4th socket, either blue or either green. See, that's blue. All right, there's no red here, even though it's a strength-based item. So yeah, the only thing to do after that is you have to fuse it, right? And it is linked after that. Okay, RNG is not good at us now. All right, so now it is linked, so you can use it, right? So yeah, that's how you do it. And for like this one, a corrupted item like this one, you cannot jeweler's orb this. So Michael, how do you make it 4 sockets? It's how do we color it, and how do you use the jeweler's orb there? So you go again to your crafting table and just press the suffix and prefix here. You place that there, and you can see that you can still make this into 4 sockets, but it's the same with the cost of the jeweler's orb, but this time you have Val orbs, right? So you need not just the jeweler's orb, but the Val orb. So we got a lot of that. You can try this, and this is just once, you know. Wait, so 4 sockets costs 10 jeweler's orb and 10 Val orbs. There you go. And if you want this, because this is an intelligence-based item, you need red and greens, right? So we have a red and green there. But if you want to color it, you don't go to your stash. You go back here to your crafting table, and at least 2 green sockets here. So you have 25 of your chromatic orbs. So your chromatic orbs will be used, but not that much, right? And 25 Val orbs. So 2 greens. So you can see here, we are so lucky with that, because you have to put it into 2 sockets first, and then you need 2 greens, because if the 2 greens are in the bottom, you'll be in trouble. So you need 2 greens up, right? So now you go back to do the 2 sockets, which costs 1 jewelers and 1 Val orb, right? So you have an intelligence item here that has 2 green, and then the same thing, just going to do the 3 sockets, 2 sockets, until you're not gonna use your chromatic orbs anymore. And since jeweler's orbs are easy to get, more easier to get than the chromatic orbs, then it's gonna be easier for you, because if you can get 6 sockets item that are not linked, you just vendor them to the NPC like Navali, like Alva, like Zana, and they will give you 7 jeweler's orb, right? So until you find the other item again, the other color again, like this one, green, right? And then 4 sockets. Like here, if we find a green or red, it's gonna be nice. So for the sake of doing this, so yeah, maybe you need 1 blue and 3 green, so you can get this up to 4 green, right? So now, Michael, I have an item here that is corrupted that I got the colors right, but it is not linked, right? Like this one. This has a good regeneration of life while moving, and this is 7 league step. So you don't go here because you cannot link it anymore because it is corrupted, right? So you go back to your crafting bench and just press this, and like the other one, it just adds your Val orb. So for normal items, just this. So for 4 linked items, you need 5 Val orbs and 5 fusing orbs, and there you go, it is linked. All right, so that's how you do it, socketing of colors. And for the last part, this one, all sockets are red, and even though this is an evasion and energy shield, strength and dexterity item, you can still color this, but it's gonna be more expensive. So the thing that you're gonna use for this is the jeweler's orb or the jeweler's touch. So what is the jeweler's touch? It is a prophecy. You can go to Navali and seek prophecy here, and just seek until you find the jeweler's touch, right? You can just unseal that and then just destroy that and then seek again until you find that. And you must have a lot of silver coins, right? And then if you can find the jeweler's touch, right click it when you have prophecy here, like this one. Okay, you have to unseal it first. Wait. Okay. View your prophecies, seal that. Okay. Destroy that. If you find your jeweler's touch or the fated connection, okay, right here, see the fated connection, you will create a fully linked 6 item using only jeweler's orb, and this one is you will create a fully linked 5 socketed item with a single jeweler's orb. All right, so there's a difference, but to use that, let's say this is the jeweler's touch, you just right click that and it will proc, and then you're just gonna be using 1 jeweler's orb in order to to change this. So I'm not gonna change it because this is linked. All right, and it will give you a linked item, a 5 linked item, which has different colors. All sockets are red, but it will change it. It will change the other colors. You cannot pick how and you cannot pick what, but you still have a 5 linked colors that are changed, not just red. And if you are using fated connections here, you will create a fully linked 6 socket item using only jeweler's orb. It means that you have to make it a 6 socket for this item, 6 socketed item using only jeweler's orb. So you're gonna spam jeweler's orb until you get a 6 socket item, and then it will fully link that into a 6 item. So that is fated connection. So if you're not rich, you can use this if you are okay with your 5 link, and you have to change colors every time, right? And this is a very expensive one, it will change the colors, but it is too expensive. So if you're gonna use 5 of this just to find your color, it's not that practical anymore. But at least if you need colors, these colors are fixed. You can change that by doing that. All right. So the third one is if you go to the syndicate hideout. Let's see our syndicate here. Show investigation. So the last one is to set your colors to white. So this is the easiest part, and there are a lot of ways that you can do that. You can corrupt an item using a Val orb here. You can corrupt an item, a normal item, and sometimes it gives you white item, right? White sockets, 1, 2, 3, or 4 white sockets. Or you can go to Atzuatl. Atzuatl is Alva's, Alva here, and you can go for the double corruption, right? Or the sacrificing of the unique items. But I think it's the double corruption. If you go there and you corrupted your items, sometimes it will give you a 6-link white socketed item. So it depends on corruption. But you know, corruption is very um, unpredictable, and it can destroy your item, it can retain your item, it can do no change, or it can, you know, give you white sockets. But the easiest part for you to do that is to go to your investigation and make sure that Vorici is on your research, right? Before you go running your research hideout, Vorici must be there. So if Vorici is not the captain or the top spot, he will give you a one-time use of a crafting table that you can craft an item, whether it is an armor-based or a weapon, or yeah, an armor. It will give you a white socket. All right, 1 to 3. You cannot pick. It is random. Either you get 1, 2, or 3, right? And it will give you white sockets like this one. This one is corrupted. That's why I got 3 white sockets. But if you go to Vorici, he will give you either 1, 2, or 3. Remember, if you go to Vorici, okay, if you go to Vorici and he is at the top of the hideout here, and you run that hideout, he is the captain, he will give you um, two bench crafts that you can use, like this one. But remember also that he can give you just 1 to 3 white sockets. So the corruption is the only way to link to white socket all the 6 links. For Vorici, it's just 1 to 3 sockets that he can make white. All right, and when you go there, like this one, I want to make this 3 white socketed boot, right? Boots. If I go to Vorici and he is the leader, I can use 2. So I use 1 already, right? Let's say we use 1 already, and he gave us only one white in our, but we need 2 or 3. But if you can, if you are there and you are gonna be using the other table, if you have a white socket here, the next table will say that you have a white socket already. So what are you going to do with that? So the thing is, you go back to your stash, or you bring some chromatic orb and just recolor like this one. Let's say that this is the one that you made white, right? And you need 2 of them or 3 of them. Chroma it first, because using a chroma orb will remove that white socket slot there. All right, so let's say we have a white one here, and we use a chroma orb, it will remove the white socket there. So be careful if you're gonna use a chromatic orb and you have a white socket that you wanted. But if you're not satisfied, Vorici just gave you 1, you can chroma it and you go back to the three colors again. Okay, if it's corrupted, just go to your benchcraft there and you redo the colors. And of course, if it's corrupted, you cannot use it with Vorici because you cannot put white sockets in a corrupted item, right? But if it's a normal item, you just use the chromatic orb. It will turn it to blue, green, or red again, and then you can use the other crafting table of Vorici, and then bench crafting or whatever you call that, and then you can use your RNG if he's gonna give you white, 1 white, 2 whites, or 3 whites, right? So I think that solves everything about crafting an off-color socket in an off-color item. So yeah, this is Michael from the Off the Blue project, and thanks for watching.